10 seconds. Stand by.
All right, here we go. Event number 2, very familiar to a lot of us in the CrossFit community. But if you're new to our family, this workout event is called Linda. It's one of our female workouts. We'll just leave it at that. The reps are 10 down to 1, so 10, 9, 8, 7, and so on. Each movement, the first movement, deadlifts, 10 deadlifts, then 10 bench press. Yes, I said it, bench press. The first time we're seeing bench press here at a regional event. And then 10 cleans, 145 for the gentleman. That bench press weight, 195 pounds. The deadlift, 295 pounds. Christian Harris in lane number 6, your first athlete. Onto those squat cleans, center of your competition floor, wearing all black and a sweet beard. Christian Harris heading back for round number 2, that round of 9s. Personally, I love a rep scheme like this. It gets easier as it goes because the reps get shorter. I guess you could call it easy. And a quick 9 reps for Christian. And he'll head back over to that new Rogue bench press. And if you can't tell from where you're sitting, this bench press setup is massive. Humongous bolts. The thing is just very sturdy. And now, Cody Mooney onto the bench press. Christian making very fast work of that round of 9 onto that 145-pound barbell. Our athletes are going to slide that barbell down each round, 10 down to 1. That's how you can follow your favorite athlete as they march down the competition floor. Makes it real easy right now. Your leader, center of your competition floor. 3 minutes in, a 17-minute time cap here for event number 2. Maintaining that lead, your leaders, lane number 6, Christian Harris, heading back for the round of 8. Albany, now that you guys have had time to wake up, a lot of people were skeptical when they saw the bench press until it was official. Round of applause. Who was happy to see this event make its way to a regional? Absolutely. This is a fun one and a fun one to watch. I'll make a long story short. If you're used to doing this workout, the weights are a little bit different. They go by the percentage of your body weight. So we made it across the board. 295 for that deadlift, 195 on the bench press, and 145 for the squat clean. Could be easy for some, could be a little bit difficult for the others. But our gentlemen chipping right away, 4.5 minutes in. Your leaders on that round of 8. Harris taking a break. 4 down and 4 to go in that round of 8. Your leader, center of your competition floor. And now jogging over to the barbell is Cody Mooney, 1 rep behind Majorano at the 5.5 minute mark. The rep scheme decreasing by 1 every round. Your leaders starting to work on that round of 7. 7 deadlifts completed for Harris in lane number 6. The rep scheme may go down, but that weight just starts to feel heavier and heavier. I'll be honest with you, a lot of people complain about bench press, that it's not a functional movement, but it's a test of your abilities. From all the functional movements that you perform, and there's nothing wrong with that. Get fit, stay functional, but every once in a while you gotta test it. And that's what we do here on that regional level after the Open. And only the best of the best are gonna make it out to Madison this summer. I hope you're going, and we'll see you there. And I know a couple gentlemen here wanting to make that trip too. As your leader, Christian Harris, lane number 6, trying to finish up that round of 7. 7 minutes in, 10 minutes remaining. Harris heading back for the round of 6. Bernstein trying to finish up that round of 8. Mooney onto the barbell for round number 7. For that round of 7 reps, rather. Tristan Majorano down in lane number 4. 2 reps to go. And that'll do it for the round of 7 for Majorano in lane number 4, holding down that number 2 position at the 8-minute mark. And now Mooney, no shirt, white sleeves, holding down that number 3 position. Harris starting to slow down just a bit. Your leader, lane number 6. The reps get lower, but that weight feels heavier. 1 rep to go for Harris in lane 6 on the round of 6. If you can't follow along with the rep scheme, you know what? Just keep your eyes on the competition floor and follow your favorite athlete as they march their way to that red stop mat. 9 minutes in, 8 minutes remaining. On paper, Christian Harris halfway through on to that round of 5, but he's on that downhill. The round of 5. Now the speed starts to go up. If the arms will hang on and your lungs will hang on, it goes pretty quick. Majorano in lane number 4 now closing the gap. And now jogging back to the deadlift bar is Mooney. So your 1, 2, and 3 pretty tight with Harris out in front. Charbonneau onto the bench press and making quick work of that 195 pounds. Picking up the pace is Charbonneau in lane number 3. And we have a new leader down in lane number 3 out of CrossFit Queens, David Charbonneau. And at the same time is Majorano and Harris. Now your new 1, 2, and 3. Bernstein and Mooney now at the same time. But heading back to the deadlift bar, your new leader, David Charbonneau, onto the round of 4. He'll make quick work of that 295-pound deadlift. Onto the bench press. 12 minutes in. As we get into those smaller numbers, it does start to go quick, and transition becomes the key. You want to be caught walking. Charbonneau now picking up the pace between disciplines. Harris and Mooney onto the bench press, right behind Majorano. 2 down and 2 to go for Charbonneau, your new leader out of Queens. He'll slide his bar forward. Coming up on the 13-minute mark, 4 minutes remaining. Event record gone and past, coming by way of Europe, 12 minutes and 9 seconds. Quick work of the 3s for Charbonneau. Mooney picking up the pace now. Majorano heading back for his round of 3. A no rep for Charbonneau. Does that leave the gate open? Mooney and Harris now. Switching places. Lane number 3. All black, tank top and pants. David Charbonneau finishing the round of 3. It sounds a little too easy to say there's 3 reps left, but that full round of 2 and that final round of 1 each. Majorano now making up some distance on Charbonneau. And now both gentlemen running between disciplines. Mooney picking up the pace now and running out to the barbell. 14.5 minutes, it goes quick. A 17-minute time cap. And Charbonneau got out in the lead and has not looked back. final round for David Charbonneau. He'll head back 1 final deadlift, 1 bench press, and 1 squat clean. Saddling up into that new Rogue bench press rig. 1 down, that'll do it. Running out to that barbell for the final time. And our first competitor to finish up with a bench press workout. He'll run across the line is David Charbonneau. And that is a big deal. Majorano now will round out that number 2 position. We got 1 and 2. And we want to see as many guys as we can get across to this red stop mat. But we got 1 final minute remaining. Gentlemen, the last minute's the best minute. Come on, Christian. Running out to that number 2 barbell. 45 seconds, Mooney running out. 1 rep to go for Mooney. And that'll be your 1, 2, and 3. Cody Mooney. Gentlemen, 30 seconds remaining. Every rep counts, just event number 2 here on day number 1. Stay moving. Stay motivated. Don't stop now. 15 seconds remaining. Ruggieri heading back to the deadlift. 10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining. Come on, Christian. 3, 2, 1. And time. One more time for David Charbonneau out of CrossFit Queens. And one more time for our first bench press event here at Regionals. I love it. Don't go anywhere. Heat number 2 coming up very quickly. A very fast switch over.
Linda, this is an awesome event that I didn't expect to see at the regional level, and I love it. Again, day 1, another surprise. Linda leaves you feeling the effects for days, and so really excited to see how these guys feel tomorrow. It is a 10-to-1 of deadlift, bench press, and squat clean. Now, this goes off of, typically, if you're doing this as the girls' workout as prescribed, it's off of your own body weight. Deadlift is at 1.5 your body weight. Bench press is your body weight, and then 3/4 your body weight. We're going off of a percentage of the athletes from last year's games. So the athletes will be using 295, 195, and 145 for the men for their barbells.
Right now, we take a look at some of the best we have so far. Craig Kinney, as we talked about, your overall leader. Marquand Jones currently in 2nd place in lane 8. Underway, and I'll start off with the 10 deadlifts. You see the bench press, and then a little bit forward will be that clean. Well, here we go, and the bulk of the reps are going to be in the first 4 rounds. You've got to know yourself if you can go unbroken on this, and this is not the heaviest weight, but of the reps we have, 55 reps of each movement, Tanya, it's going to get heavy. It
gets heavy, and the thing is, we tend to really 10 through 6 is where you're the bulk of the workout. That's where you have to strategize, and then whatever you have, if you strategize that correctly, then by the end, the last couple of rounds, it feels great because it's just a sprint, and you're just really breathing hard to move that weight. But here, this first round, Craig Kinney is making quick work of it. He's looking to go unbroken. The bench press is something we don't typically see. He just moved right through it. Let's see if he continues to break. He is going to go 1 at a time, just a drop and pick back up. Probably saving his grip there for the deadlift is why I'm suspecting he's doing that. But these squat cleans come from the ground. You have to go full range of motion with the hip crease going below your knee. That's the range of motion that the judge is looking for. The athletes can hold on. A lot of them are choosing to drop. The only thing with dropping is it bounces kind of, and the lanes are tight, so you got to be careful where you're at with these lanes, and if your barbell is bouncing too far to the right or left.
Lane number 5, that was Daniel Vijay out of West London to CrossFit in West London, Ontario with the early lead. Craig Kinney down at the bottom of the red top advancing in as well. There's Daniel Vijay in lane 5 back to the deadlifts. This is the round of 9. And again, not a terrible weight if you're just kind of, you know, trying to get up to a 1 rep max. It's on your way to the 1 rep at 295. But again, 55 reps. Remember the open last year, the 55s of the wall balls and the deadlifts were in there, the 55 cows. Those add up really quickly. The bench press, they're going to want you to touch that chest, go all the way up the arms, including the initial lift off. You can't just pop it off the J hook straight down on your chest.
And the athletes were tested yesterday after they were briefed on, they had to test the measurement for where that J cups are going to be so that it's fair for everyone. And they have the same distance that they're pressing off of to get the bar out of the hooks.
While we're in the higher reps, let's talk for just a second. I'll let you talk to this. Some boxes bench press, some don't. Everyone's a little bit different. A lot of times it's related to the bro sesh when you do the bench press. And some people say that's not functional. It is. If the refrigerator falls on you, you've got to press it off of you.
Anything's functional when it comes to, yes, if you fall, something falls on you, yes, you can make an account for that. But no, bench press is one of those things where people started CrossFitting and then you think, oh, I don't need to bench. Maybe you just don't see it as often. At our gym, we don't program it all the time. We still do bench. More often than not, it's in one of our strength lifting days or one of our strength cycles that we're doing. But the bench press is definitely not off the table, and Dave Castro's making sure everybody knows that. Don't just leave it and say it's not important. We can still test it. It is still a test of fitness.
Well, we had fun with the dumbbells last year. Everybody wanted the barbell back. Well, here it is, and a lot of reps. And it's Daniel Vijay again, 23 years old, 5'11", 195 pounds, 2-time regional athlete, a goaltender. He played hockey and currently did pretty well in the endurance event and the triple threes, 7th place. He's sitting here with 73 points. He's in really good shape right now. He's
sitting pretty, and goalkeepers always have that mental aspect. They're used to, they can handle pressure, they can handle that stress.
Kinney with 5 reps remaining. And again, the way you'll know where they are, they'll advance the barbell forward on the cleans, the deadlift, and the bench press will stay in the same place. Kinney, sporting a stash, used to be clean shaven, now he's
more mature look for him.
There you go, down to the chest, lock those arms all the way out.
You know, I think one of the reasons we've not, people probably didn't expect to see a bench press at a regional or at the games is more because of safety. How are we going to do this? What's the safety factor? But Rogue was able to create this bench with the safety straps. They do have a spotter back there. Now the way it works with the spotter is only if they see the barbell start to descend and they can tell the athlete is no longer going to be able to make that rep will they jump in. But they do have the safety straps there as well. So creative ways. There's, nothing, like I said, nothing's off limits. Rogue is very creative. They can do anything.
Round 8, Vijay still in the lead here is Kinney. You'll notice you have 3 judges, 1 for the deadlift, 1 for the bench, 1 for the clean. Well, the deadlift judge is also your spotter. Their judges get to put their fitness into practice here this weekend. The danger here, since it's a relatively light squat clean, and you and I talked about this yesterday, at 145 pounds, is you get to going really fast. Make sure you hit that depth.
Well, and that's where I'm surprised, but it's good pace and good strategy here to just break these up and just maintain yourself, maintain your composure with the barbell. Because sometimes when you do hold on and you go for multiple reps, your hips can get too far, too high, too far forward, and you don't want to miss rep on any of these movements because they're weights, they're not body weight, so it's going to take a lot more out of you.
Round of 7 here for Daniel Vijay. Again, he is the early leader, and Craig Kinney's a little bit behind him. You'll have to go at a pretty quick pace to beat the Russian Andre Ganin, who won it earlier today. Understand, he went unbroken.
Yeah,
for all 165 reps. Everyone thought, well, this guy's going to burn himself out. He just kept on rolling.
That's incredible.
Arquan Jones, he's one of our top 5. In fact, he's 2nd overall, 95 points. He was back in 2014 in the old Southeast Regional, finished 9th. So he has been around a little bit, but now up here in the East Regional. He's 17th in the Northeast out of CrossFit Roseland in Roseland, New Jersey. 28 years old, 5'11", 200 pounds. They've got a team, I believe, here in the competition as well. Jones there on his deadlifts. A lot of these athletes now moving into the round of 7. Once you get past 7, you're about halfway through in the rounds of 55. When you attack an event or a test or whatever your coach has programmed, you see that number 50, a lot of reps around 50. Start at 10, go down. That's a trick old Sean Woodland told me about the open and the 55s. Do a set of 10, then a set of 9. You get less reps every time.
I said you don't. My thing is you don't ever do the math. Don't do the math. You're better off if you just stick to one little thing at a time, one chunk of the event at a time, and that's where it's laid out on the floor. They can just focus on the ones they have to. All right, 7, that's what I'm doing.
Saw Daniel Vigier walking back in the all-black, your leader. And here is a veteran, Paul Tremblay, 16th in Canada. He's 31 years old now and just became a dad again. Strength is good. Endurance today, 36 for 21 points, but he can make up some ground here with the barbell.
Paul Tremblay, he's been known in our community. He's seminar staff, demo team at the games a few years. Unfortunately, he would rather be on the competing side, but a lot of excitement he has at home with the new baby, as all this happened this past week, so he's had a busy week.
In 2014, he was 31st of the game. He was on a team back in 2012, so he's been there. And here's Vigier again. He is now into his round of 6.
So if you're newer to CrossFit, a lot of times people say, where's the cardio? If we don't have an event or you don't have something programmed at your gym that has running or or rowing like we saw in the last event, it's where's the cardio? Am I gonna do enough cardio for my lungs? Where is that? You can see the athletes when they're transitioning, that's where they're getting their breath. They're keeping their core, their midline so stable as they move from one movement to the next, and their heart rate is very high. They're breathing. Lung capacity is built through moving heavy weights, through moving moderate weights, through moving all different types of loads. So there's always a lung effect here. These guys are not going out to the water fountain, having a drink, talking to their buddies in between sets here.
Right now, Daniel Vigier is sitting at a little over 8.5 minutes, and he's also going to be well past the halfway mark as far as total reps when he gets finished with this round of 6 cleans. David Charbonneau got a 15:29. Right now, he's the event leader here in the East. So you remind me when you're just talking about the old meme they put out. What do you do for your fitness? I lift weights. So what do you do for cardio? I lift weights faster. That's just what you do here.
That's what you do. And Vigier going unbroken on these squat cleans, that's what's really, he's gaining the time there. That's where he's making up ground on a lot of these guys. He has the lung capacity to do that, to hold on, but that's where you're going to get fired up. And what happens is when you hold on and go unbroken, that's what that means. You hold on for one repetition after the other. You don't let it drop. It taxes your heart rate that much that when you go back to the deadlifts, it's hard to stabilize because you just are sucking wind and you need to breathe.
Right now you got Daniel Vigier, Paul Tremblay, here Marquand Jones in the red shorts, black top, and that's Craig Kinney in the red top, army green shorts. Those are your top 4 right now as Craig Kinney sits in 3rd as he is going to make his way back to the deadlift. And there's Marquand Jones right now with 95 points. He is 2nd overall. 17-minute time cap, so well past halfway. So move the barbell forward. You're allowed to either roll it forward or walk it forward in the front rack. You cannot just push it and walk away, and you cannot throw the barbell. And very important this year, when you finish an event or you have an event, maybe at the teams where you have barbells involved, you must go over the barbell. In the past, if you walked around it, they just make you come back. They're not messing around this year. You get a 10-second penalty, and that's a lot of spots on the leaderboard. That's
huge, especially when we know events in the past have gotten to the very end where it's a foot race. Those 10 seconds could be 5-6 places, so that's a huge penalty. So hopefully we won't have any mistakes there.
People might not think there's 4 in bench press. There is. You just saw Craig Kinney, that slight arch in the back. Now the athlete's feet must be on the floor as well. But when you put that arch in your back, Tanya, you can tell us about it. It engages the back muscle. That's where all the muscle is.
All the power is there. Sometimes people think you need to be flat. You really need to. You should keep that arch in your back to keep that tension, and you have your whole body maintain tension. You may not raise your hips off of the bench, and you don't really need to if you have the correct tension in your body.
All right, that's Vigier in the black on your right, Tremblay on your left in the white and the dark shorts, and now they're walking back to the deadlift, but Tremblay is right there with Vigier. We'll see when they get down here and into the round of 4 if they start jogging back to the barbells.
Well, and that's just it. This is the spot where they could do it. A couple reps, if you can just get there, pick it up, and a lot quicker transitions, you're moving. You're not holding on to that weight. Now, a lot less time under tension, so quick breather, rip out a couple, and off you go.
So that is your 2 leaders right now. Rep for rep, Vigier on the right in the all black, Tremblay on the left in the white, and Craig Kinney still in 3rd place. Tremblay with a 1 rep, a 2 rep lead. He went right to the bench. Deep breath. He may finish all 4 reps first, and he is going to get a breather there for the rep to go. Talked about his grip a little bit. Another thing on this grip, no suicide grip. Thumbs must be wrapped around. That is a safety precaution. And Vigier went unbroken. Tremblay had to get that last rep. And now Vigier picking up the pace of the barbell.
He is breathing hard, though. Tremblay's trying to get there as well. And for Vigier, that is a quick transition. He picked that bar up as soon as he touched it. He's gone unbroken the past few rounds. We'll expect the same here.
That was not quite a straight line walk to the barbell. There's Tremblay, a little bit quicker cycle. So now they'll be into the round of 3. And you see Vigier's got about a 15-foot lead, but Craig Kinney starting to move as well here in the red. He had the early lead. Right now, that's your overall lead with 100 points. We'll bring it forward.
And now we're going to see some guts at the end. Who can push that much harder? It hurts. Who can dig in? Who can suck it up a little bit more and hold on? And the most efficient you are, the more efficient you are, the better your body position, keeping your midline straight on those deadlifts, keeping your body tension, driving strong off your chest on the bench, keeping the barbell close and quick, opening of the hips on the cleans. Who can still do that this far into the game?
Tremblay in the white picks up the barbell first. He took a quick look and saw that Vigier had not put his hands on the barbell. Now he fails the final rep. Vigier finishes. Tremblay's got to take a second, and here comes Vigier. And now with just 3 reps here, and then after this, you only have 3 total reps remaining in the entire event. Tremblay now finishing his last rep. So Vigier just needs to get these 3 reps. And Boeing Disaster should be all right, but Craig Kinney right in front of us now is pulled even with Vigier. So now the race is going to be in lanes 5 and 9 as they now pick it up to a run. Here's Tremblay. He'll try to get back in, and David Charbonneau at 15:29 has the event lead. But Craig Kinney didn't fall far behind, and right now Craig Kinney's got the lead. There's Vigier. He's trying to catch up, but it's Craig Kinney with the lead. In the red, the bottom of your screen, he has both reps in. Kinney, the veteran, knows he is running to the barbell.
Fast transitions, that's huge.
Kinney knows exactly where he is. He knew when to turn it on, when to begin to run. Kinney walks it up. 3 total reps remaining. Kinney's got that deadlift run back to the barbell with those hamstrings and glutes activated. There goes Vigier, but Craig Kinney should have no issue here. Just 1 final rep on the bench, 1. Well, I got the round of 2. Did they no rep him there? He's got 2, so it's Vigier actually in the lead. Now when it's Kinney, they moved it up. He may have gotten a no rep, or Nate had it extended coming out of the rack.
His foot came off the ground.
Here is Craig Kinney. He's in. He's going to have the event lead at 14:42. So he wins the heat, slams down the weight belt as we all like to do. And here comes Vigier. Vigier's going to be 2nd overall. He's still going to get ahead of David Charbonneau. So 14:42 unofficial, 14 seconds ahead of Vigier, who was at 14:56. So 14:42 for Kinney today. And there goes your overall leader, Marquand Jones. And here comes Tremblay. Tremblay will finish 3rd. And as long as he can get in, he's probably not going to get 3rd overall to beat 15:29 unless he can get this squat clean in real quick and get onto the finish mat. He's got 4 seconds, and he'll just get in 15:27. So he's 3rd place overall right now, 2 heats remaining. So Kinney, Vigier, and Tremblay, top 3 in the heat. They are top 3 right now in the event with 2 heats remaining. Boy, it's a fun race when you get into the round of 3. And boy, Craig Kinney, the veteran, played it very, very well. Here's Marquand Jones. He's going to be in.
Well, and as you go through the reps, the field of play grows. So you have longer transitions that are built in. If you walk, this is something that we've seen year after year. As that floor grows, you can't walk, you have to run. And you can see the athletes that are just struggling to get themselves, their bodies up and down that field.
Jeremy Vigneault in lane number 2. Well, he's a little confused whether he had to roll that barbell forward or not, but he gets on the finish mat at 16:18 unofficially. And at the end of one, you've just got to set the barbell down. Doesn't hurt, just it's better be safe than sorry, but didn't have to roll it forward. Now some trouble these later reps, even though there are fewer reps. You've built up 48, 49 plus to get to this point.
It feels okay early on in rounds 10 and 9, and you're feeling good, but the effects compound for sure if you didn't take appropriate breaks.
Stephen Mackenzie here in the red top out of Sydney, Nova Scotia. He is in 16:56. And just missed the time cap, I think. Nice effort diving that time by Samuel Cornier out of DECA CrossFit in Blainville, Quebec, but I believe he may have just hit the cap. But what a performance by Craig Kinney. We talked about what he did in the 50s in 2014. He came in today. He did great on the triple threes. Awesome here.
Real showing his maturity as an athlete and his ability to really look at events and tackle them with appropriate breaks, appropriate pacing. He did not go to failure. Early on, he broke the squat cleans into singles, and that's what gave him just all the ability here at the end to race it and push the end, because he had the strength to do that. When the other competitors started to slow down, that's when he picked it up.
Craig Kinney, the unofficial time of 14:42, has the event lead with 2 heats remaining here from the East Regional in Albany, New York. So heat number 3 is underway. The bulk of these reps in this benchmark event to work out when you're in your gym. Here, testing this one out. Bulk of those reps in the first 4 rounds.
The first 4 rounds are what's most important to break up, and this is smart right from the start here. It's very smart to drop the bar before you think you have to. If you're holding on, you're like, oh shoot, this is heavy. You should have already put it down, especially if you're in reps 10 through 7 and you're feeling that way. Smart breaks early on, don't go to failure, and then push the end. That's where this all comes down to, is what can you do, where can you race when the field of play is longer because you're moving your barbell down the floor. Can you still run in between? Can you make those quick transitions? As
a coach at your box, and we know athletes have done Linda at their benchmark at their box, whether you've done it RX or scaled. What do you tell them? Hey, if your max rep set is 10 or 11, don't do 10 early. Let's do a set of 5 here, maybe 3 or 4.
Hold back, go conservative, because you can always push it later, but you can't get it back.
Squat cleans, these are going to be relatively light for these regional athletes. The only danger, we've not seen it pop up today, and we don't expect it to be big, but at a lighter weight, sometimes it's easier to no rep because you get to going so quickly.
Another thing that's easy to do is use poor form or poor technique when the bar's lighter. A lot of times you can just pick it up with your arms or your back. You don't want to do that with this lighter load for the gentleman, relatively lighter load, because they need their back. They need all of the posterior muscles for the deadlift, the heavier deadlift bar. So your athletes that are using technique for those squat cleans, using the legs, keeping their chest upright and using more hip and leg, they're going to have the advantage later on and not tax themselves out as much as the athletes that are more hunched over and rounded.
Peter Shaw right there in the black tank top with the camo shorts, 11th in Canada East out of Ottawa, Ontario, CrossFit NCR, 28 years old. He's been a regional veteran here. He usually hangs out between 10 and 20. See if he can pop through. 12th earlier today in the triple threes. And again, he's part owner of Paul Tremblay, who we just saw really do well in heat number 2. I'm sure him and Paul have a lot of bro sessions in the box.
Well, when you know, when you're competing at the same event and you can kind of watch and you have a time to chase, you usually know where you are in all your training throughout the season to know, all right, that gives me a good gauge of where I should be for this.
17-minute time cap again early in this one. This is going to be won in those rounds of 5-1. Right now, the athletes playing it very smart, doing exactly what they need. Is Peter Shaw right now the early lead, walking to the barbell. You don't want to do the jog or the run really, I think, until you get into the round of 3.
There's no need now because you're spending so much time with the movements, with those reps, that those short transitions, that's okay to move slow. That's your breathing time.
212-pound athlete, Peter Shaw, that's good. Mass moves mass, that's good in London.
Relatively good, especially for this event, which typically goes off of your own body weight, but we're taking an average of last year's games athletes. So for him, that's great because this barbell at body weight would be 195, so he would be a lot heavier than that, so that helps him out.
And when people do London where you've done it RX or you've scaled it, the event really, your test is on that bench press. Most people are going to handle a deadlift in a squat clean. And we even saw Paul Tremblay got that no rep late in the event, had to wait to get, I think, that 3rd rep in the round of 3. That's where you can really get stuck on this. Lane number 4 walking back. That's Alex Bozenhard at the top of your screen. But we go back to Shaw, your overall leader, and Bozenhard up there in the gray top with the blue numbers joins him. But Peter Shaw right now, the early lead, and he's putting some space between himself and the field. Well, he's got a 9-rep lead here, an 8-rep lead.
He moves very well. He's really keeping the bar close. He's using his hips, using his legs. He stays in good body position. You can tell that that load is not too heavy for him as well.
You just saw Peter Shaw go to the bench, and you see the bench press that we're using. The machine is not your usual one you do. You have the J-hooks in the rack at your box with just somebody spotting you. A lot of safety features here. Number 1, you see the straps right there. Shaw's lifting on the bottom of your screen as a fail-safe. Also, you're required to wrap the thumb. No suicide grip, must have that thumb. Even though it might be relatively lightweight, if it falls on your chest, neck, or face, it's not going to feel light whatsoever. And the deadlift judge comes back to act as a spotter on the bench press.
Guys, you've already touched on it a little bit, the kind of the strategy talk. What do you do? How do you break up a workout? Do you go singles? Do you go unbroken? Do you live that single life as long as you can with that barbell? And that's what goes into CrossFit. People don't realize there's so much strategy that plays into this. And we saw this in the previous heat with Craig Kinney. He did singles almost the entire way. When he got to 3, he started to string them together. Kinney was in the back of the pack when the event started. He slowly crept his way up. He trusted his practice. He trusted what his coach had probably told him to do, and it paid off for him in the end. We're watching Peter Shaw make his way through the round of 8s right now. He was stringing together 10s and 9s. Let's see how long that holds up. Can he maintain that kind of blazing pace for the remainder of those reps? Because as we know, in a 10-to-1 strategy, you don't hit halfway until you get to the round of 7. So, long way to go for Peter Shaw. Can he keep up the pace he's already set?
Thanks a lot, Nick. And Shaw's gone back to the deadlift bar. He's going to take his rest here instead of going immediately and then maybe burning himself out. So smart play. He can look around now as we get middle of this event and see what kind of lead he has. And so now he is moving into the round of 7. Peter Shaw right now, your overall leader, but down the screen you saw there was Alex Bozenhard, and then that Army green top in the middle. That's Nicholas Joyal, 6th in Canada East, out of the province of Quebec. He was 76 worldwide in the open this year, just 24 years old, and 16th earlier today in the triple threes. 17-minute time cap. We are not yet at the halfway mark here in heat number 3. And again, Craig Kinney got a 14:42 right now. He holds the lead here in the East. So Shaw beginning his bench. Joyal has taken the barbell. He will be in 2nd place. Back to Shaw. You have to touch the chest, extend the arms, and when you take it out of the rack, you've got to extend. You can't just pop it off the J-hooks and come straight down.
He's working. That is effort there for those last couple reps. And he's right there at that point where once you get through 7s, you're like, all right, I already did that, and I should be able to go on. But you just wonder, did he go too far? Will he hit a wall, or will that start to ease up on him because the reps go down? And that just depends on the athlete. Some athletes can push knowing that they're always going to get that reprieve of 1 less rep each round.
Well, I think earlier he could. He wasn't being pushed. He could wait at the deadlift bar, but now all of a sudden in the middle of your screen in that green top, gray shorts, Nicholas Joyal again out of the Canada East is now going to start to press him a little bit. So now you're going to have to push your pace up a little bit in the transitions. But Shaw still has a few reps on the lead as he walks back to the deadlift bar. He's got a CrossFit Charbonneau loose side, and Charbonneau Quebec, Nicholas Joyal. He can walk it forward in the front rack, drops it there. Again, is 24 years old now. He is giving up 20 pounds to Peter Shaw, which is important in a test like this with the barbell.
It is, because when he tests Linda, or when he has done it in the past, he was using a much different loading. So it doesn't have to be, you know, pound for pound. There's every movement you can say, that's a big guy, that's a little guy, that's a small guy, and we kind of throw it out the window because we're not just testing one thing. We have the variety of tests that, yes, there's some things where you have longer arms, good for you. There'll be other parts where, you know, that's going to kill you when you're having handstand push-ups. So same thing here, that there'll be these events that the athletes, especially the smaller guys, they have gotten accustomed to needing to be able to handle the heavier loads, and they're the ones that can do a little bit more, usually overall with their body weight and the barbell. So he's showing he's holding his own very well despite that deficit.
But that's why you have such a vast variety of events and tests here at the regionals and the games, and even in your daily WOD at the box. Because we don't want to favor one body type or another in CrossFit. We want you to be good across the board.
And we also want to find your weakness. It's good to know your weaknesses, or you won't get better. So that also is something that test your weakness and then smash your weakness, fix it, get better at those things.
All right, now Sean's got a couple of reps lead. He's trying to go unbroken. He's cycling Joey Allen over here for doing the singles. But now Shaw on your right, continuing to hang on to the barbell in the round of 6. And he's going to be just down to the round of 5 as he rolls it forward. Now things can start to go quick, and if Shaw wants to, and he's not going to do it right now, but another round, probably round or 2, he's going to pick that up, or at least he should, to a jog during the transitions.
But nice composure here for Joyal. And I'm waiting for a little trot. I'd love to see a little trot to even put a little more pressure.
Round of 5 for Peter Shaw. And you see, with 20 pounds heavier, he moves a little bit quicker. Bass moves bass here on the barbell. And got through those 5 deadlifts like it was no big deal. But here is where the test comes in, is that bench press. Let's watch Joyal, only 192 pounds compared to the 212 that Peter Shaw is. Not bad, but a little more labor than Shaw. Not significantly, though.
It's effort, but he also has less range of motion to go. He's shorter, so he doesn't have to stand that up. It doesn't take as long to stand up, so there is that advantage.
Shaw, that deep breath, make sure he gets the lockout. Has that nice arch in his back, as we talked about earlier.
He's waiting so long to get the next rep, and he's able to do it.
Sometimes when you wait at the top, Tanya, you can talk about this. You think you're resting, like, you know, Murph's coming up in a week and a half. When you're resting at the top of the push-up, you're still under tension.
And sometimes it's good just to, you know, we saw Paul Tremblay in the last heat. He went for it and failed that rep. So you don't want to fail a rep. Sometimes if you're questioning it, you should just rack it up. But he's been able to maintain, hasn't had a missed rep yet.
The difference right now between Joyal and Shaw is on the squat cleans, and the fact that Shaw is hanging on to the barbell. Joyal is doing singles, but now he knows himself. He can go unbroken when you have 6 total reps left in this test. He knows what he's doing because they're getting to the squat cleans at the same time.
And that's it. But we're going to be running. We're going to be running out of time and opportunities to make those moves. And the floor keeps getting longer. And I'm not seeing anybody run or trot or make their move, because a little bit of a jog would make a big difference for those 3 more rounds of that.
We haven't seen Alex Bozenhard lately. He's fallen off the pace. It's a 2-person race right now with Shaw and Joyal. As Shaw is back to the bench.
And this is a lot of rest.
Yeah. Joyal took a peek over. You just see him in the green shirt, and he gets down on that bench quickly. They'll start about the same time, but it took less rest. And Joyal's going to he's got a rep lead.
Nice quick transition for Joyal. And look at that tempo. It touches his chest. He's right up. And as soon as he's locked out, Jeff, he's going for the next rep. That was a good move.
Here's where I'd like to see him look over, and he did, and pick it up to a jog, because Shaw's just getting off the bench. And if he's going to do singles on the round of 4, I would like to see that jog. 14:42 is the time to beat. Now he's going to hang on to it. That's a statement right there.
It's go time, and this is where we're pushing the end. It's nice to see. And now it's going to be, what can Shaw do to hold on here? Does he have enough left? Did he go too hard? And he's trotting. That's a good sign.
Joyal went unbroken. That was his statement, that Shaw's making his with the transition. And they are step for step back to the deadlift bar. Chorin will pick it up first. He's got a rep lead. The cycle's quicker for Shaw, but it's only 3 reps, so it doesn't matter. And they are now getting to the bench, and Chorin a little bit more intent getting to the bench press, and his hands immediately on the barbell.
That's the thing I tell my athletes, touch the bar. If you touch the bar, you are less likely to wait than when you stand there and look at it. Just touch the bar and you'll get started. And look at that, done before Shaw even starts. That could be it right there. Jeff, that could be the difference.
Now can he get to 14:42? He's got a little over a minute to beat Craig Kenny's time. After he gets done with this round set of 3, he's only got 9 total reps in Linda remaining. Shaw trying to pick up the pace. Chorin's now going to jog back. You see him in the background. Now he's picking it up, and that's a little bit more than a slow jog as well. He looked back a couple of times just to see where he is.
Nice quick transition.
Probably not going to get the time to beat here. They're about 15 seconds off of Craig Kenny's 14:42. Oh, by the way, that event record was 2 minutes ago, and Andre Ganin went unbroken at 12:09 earlier today in Europe. He'll have 3 total reps after these 2 squat cleans. But he's going to put himself in a really, really good position. Again, earlier today, 16th place. He's got 55 points. Chorin does. Shaw was 12th in the triple three. So they're both not bad finishes earlier today. He grabs some points here. Final one for the 6th place finisher in Canada East. He has 1 rep remaining and then must get onto the finish mat. Chorin will put it down. He is going to be on the mat at about 15:09 unofficially, and Shaw should be in right behind him.
Very nice execution of that event for Chorin.
Shaw, who had the lead until about the round of 4, will come in at 15:25 unofficially. But again, well played by Nicolas Chorin. Came in, picked up the pace, knew where he was compared to Peter Shaw in that round of 4 when he decided not to let go of the squat clean, just where he grabbed the lead.
The time you can go unbroken and know that you're still feeling okay, haven't redlined. That's what we call it when you're pushing the heart rate, pushing the pace, where you kind of hit that wall and can't go any farther. Chorin really knew his body, knew where he needed to do that. Here's
a guy that's in good position. Jeffrey Adler, fit in the triple threes, has done pretty well at 189 pounds. He'll finish in under the cap on Linda. He'll get in at 16:04 unofficial. So less than a minute to the 17-minute cap here for Heat 3. Lane 2 at the top of your screen, Tyler Lee, who was 4th in the triple threes down here in lane 10. The bottom of your screen, Trevor James. Games and regional, that a familiar name to the longtime CrossFit fans. But in lane 5, Anthony Vasquez. 30 seconds remain here, less than 30 seconds. Let's see if Tyler Lee up in lane 2 can get through this. Shirtless in the gray shorts. 4th earlier today in the triple three, where he's going to have to motor. Only 15 seconds remaining.
And with that 4th place finish earlier today, it's a shame to have him cap out here. I was hopeful for him.
3 seconds to go. He's going to have to dive.
Right there.
Oh, he's going to just hit the cap. I believe he got the rep in, but he's going to hit the cap on your score.
Cap on his score, and that's, you know, we have 1 heat to go. I expect it to be a faster heat, but Nicolas Chorin, very, very well executed. He attacked this very appropriately, did his nice breaks early on in those longer reps, and he didn't go to failure. So he was able to push the end.
Nicolas Chorin wins the heat, but Craig Kenny still has the event lead at 14:42 with 1 heat remaining from the Times Union Center in Albany, New York. One heat remaining for event number 2 for the men here at the East Regional in Albany, New York, inside the Times Union Center. I'm Jeff Bryman alongside Tanya Wagner. We'll hear later on from Nick Zielinski on the floor of the Times Union Center. So it's been fun playing around with the barbell here today. We had the triple threes a little bit earlier, and Craig Kinney right now is doing very well. After event 1, he stood in first place, and right now he's got the time to beat in event number 2.
But he has some competitors looking to take down that standing of first place. They want to get in his way of being on the podium. And one of those athletes is Patrick Filner, who is in this heat. Patrick Filner took a third on the first event, so he sits in third right now, and he's going to look to wrap up his day. It seems like they just started, but this is the last event of day 1. So one more opportunity here to see where they're going to finish up the day on the leaderboard. Hard
to believe after event number 1 that had a 49-minute time cap, we're already getting ready to finish up here in event number 2. Here's how they line up, and Patrick Filner is in lane number 7, sitting in third overall with 90 points. And then Devin Ford added with the draw before the triple threes even began today earlier, so lane 6 will be vacated. In lane number 8, Jean-Simon Wallemere has some ground to make up as he attacks Linda.
Linda, this is an event, if you're familiar with CrossFit and you've been around a while, you know this one. It's a benchmark workout. It's one of the girls. It's a 10-to-1 of deadlift, bench press, and squat clean. The loads are there on the left of your screen for these guys, and they will have their work cut out for them.
Usually Linda, as we've talked about, based on body weight percentage, but would take all day to reset the weights for every heat here. So we'll go with a standard weight as we get set to begin. So they'll make their way to the deadlift bar. It is the round of 10 as you see the floor set up, the deadlifts and the bench, and you will roll the bar forward in the squat cleans. That'll let you know how far these guys up with the repetition and round markers. There's Patrick Filner.
The movements are different in this event than we saw earlier today, but the strategy is the same. Know your pacing, know your speed, and don't be afraid to break things up and go conservative early. It'll pay off later on in the event. This is a 17-minute time cap that we have for this 10-to-1. First time we're seeing bench press at the regional level, at any competition in the games, at the CrossFit Games level. People are surprised about that. A lot of chatter on social media about bench press, but Rogue was able to create a cool little bench with some safety straps and a place for a spotter.
Those are 2 of the safety features, and again, you must wrap your thumbs around. None of the suicide grip. We don't want the barbell falling on anyone. Filner just steady, just like he was in the triple threes right now. And even though he may be sitting about 5th or 6th so far in this heat, really not worried about him whatsoever right now.
There's a difference between training and competing. When you're at your box, when you're training, you're holding on for reps. You are pushing the envelope for your body. You're taking it to its limits, to the edge of your capacity, so that when you get to competition, you know what you can do and you can have some wiggle room to play with. Now strategy. Now I know I am pacing. If I do this many reps in this time, and how do I feel when I do this many? You know exactly where you're at. So this looks methodical, it looks composed, and it is exactly what he should be doing.
He's kind of doing what maybe Nicholas Joyal did in the prior heat. A lot of singles early, but when it gets down to that sprint part of it in the rounds 1 through 4, he's probably going to switch to unbroken. Back to the deadlifts. You have the touch at the bottom of the floor. No bouncing of the barbell. You can't force it down and get that little rebound to get you going back up. So on the bench press, you talked about it. A lot of talk when it was announced we're going to do Linda in the bench press. When CrossFit first really blew up in its popularity. It's been around for over 2 decades, but in its real popularity, when people started watching the games, there was always that stigma. Well, I'm not going to bench press. That's what you do in the Globodrim. That's the bro session. Very functional. Something falls on top of you. You've got, and no one's there. You've got to press it off of it.
Well, I also feel like, you know, when people used to talk about fitness before CrossFit was really around, it was always like, well, what's your bench? Like, that was a really good measure of your fitness. I would have, when I used to teach in the high school, I'd have football guys be like, oh, what's your bench, Mrs. Wagner? I'm like, I don't care what my bench is. Let's grab a 45-pound bar. How many reps can you do? And that was a better measure of fitness for me, because I was starting to get the CrossFit mentality of, it's not just what your one rep is, it's what you can do over a long haul. So I think we've kind of come to a different position with bench press. We don't really ostracize it that much in the boxes like we have maybe in the past, because there is purpose. It does make you stronger, obviously, in your chest and your pecs, and burpees and just body weight pressing isn't going to get you stronger as lifting weight will.
This being the ultimate test, or was the ultimate test before CrossFit, bench press, the most popular sport in the United States, football. They test bench press at the combine, 225 for as many reps as possible, and most people outside of the CrossFit world take that as how fit are you. It's not necessarily how fast can you run a mile, but how many times can you bench press 225? And as we know, being in the CrossFit world, that's not the total measure of what you can do. But fortunately for us, we get to see it now on the floor.
Good point. Thanks a lot, Nick. That's always one of the more popular ones to watch in the NFL Combine. Now we kind of get to see it in play here and see what these guys do. And they're not having any issue with it right now. There's Chase Smith. Right now it is Chase Smith in the white shirt, and then Andrew Chorin over in lane 9. They're your top two. Chorin's in the black down at the bottom of lane 9, and then in the white top it is Chase Smith in the white.
Well, and it's fun, too, because a lot of these guys have football backgrounds. The Canadians, a lot of them are hockey players for their background. So CrossFit really is your sport after you're done with your sport. So a lot of them have that background of, oh, that's cool. I used to bench. That is something in my wheelhouse that I used to do. Maybe I wasn't a gymnast when I was a little kid, but I used to bench in high school. Something to come back to, something for fun.
So again, Chase Smith and Alexandre Chorin, your top two. And there's Patrick Belmer just making his way through here. It'll be really interesting. It's going to be really fun to see once we get down to the rounds of 4, 5, and 6. Filner start to, I think, come on up to the top and really push for the lead.
Well, Chorin is 27th right now. That's what he took in the triple threes. Smith 22nd in triple threes. So they're not really a threat to Filner. And because of the duration of this workout or this event being so long, there's a lot of work they still have to do.
He's got high expectations. Here is Alexandre Chorin here in lane number 9. He's improved each year. He's been in the regional the last 4 times. 7th last year, 14th and 16th. In 2015, 23rd, 2014, 24th. Again, as you mentioned, just 22 years old. Could this be the year for Chorin to bust through? 27th in the triple threes, so he's got some points to make up. But if he comes through and gets an event win here in Linda, he's going to bank 100 points as he'll chase Craig Kinney's 1442. And he's already looking out across the competition floor to peek over at Chase Smith. So he's very aware where he is at, where Chase Smith is going to do the singles. And we saw this juxtaposition of strategy earlier with singles against unbroken.
The problem is we're just so early on in this event that there's so much more to go for them to already be racing or be watching each other. It's good to be aware, but you don't want to get in that race yet.
If I was Patrick Filner, I would enjoy watching this race. I'll let you guys go out and go at each other here, and I'll just sneak on in here.
Maybe Patrick's just watching this show from behind. I'll just watch you fellas, and then I'll just blow past.
Because here comes Patrick Filner, just nice and calm, going to get on the squat cleans as Chorin with the lead, rolls it forward just a little bit, though. Chase Smith right behind him.
Here's a tip for your coaches or for athletes. When you are watching somebody and you want to know if your athlete chose too heavy of a weight or they didn't choose the right scaling in one of their workouts when they're at your gym, watch their face, watch when they're moving and they're transitioning. How hard are they breathing and how much does their body position change? Are they hunched over? Are they struggling? Are they laboring? That's a good telltale sign of how they are. Patrick Filner there turns around, little chipper, his head's not hunched, he's not dragging. He is just fine, and those body positions tell you so much. The athletes aren't always aware that they're doing them, but there's a lot it happens in the transitions, and you can tell a lot about an athlete through a transition.
Chase Smith, you just saw him back to Alexandre Chorin in the all black. He's going back and forth with Chase Smith, so that's your two leaders right now, and Patrick Filner just sitting there in third place, nice and calm. Top of your screen in the white top, again, Chase Smith out of CrossFit Free in Salem, New Hampshire, 29 years old. And again, Smith is going singles top of your screen in lane 9 near the bottom of the all black. Alexandre Chorin hanging on to it. He's not going unbroken, but he's trying to string together some doubles.
You know, some athletes, they have a hard time when they put the barbell down, picking it right up. And if you are one of those athletes, sometimes you you can go this direction and say, well, I need to hold on because otherwise I won't pick it up. I'm going to waste so much time. So if you're one of those athletes, and maybe that's where Chorin is one of those athletes, maybe he really should just be doing threes or a few less reps and not so many.
Patrick Filner doing the singles, but as you watch him, he's doing the smart thing. I like to tell the athletes, if you're going to do singles, that's fine. Chase the barbell down. Don't do a single and stand there. Go right back after it.
Again, the faster you can get your hands on the bar, the quicker you will pick it up. You won't stand there with your hands on the bar. It just feels awkward.
Chorin here in the round of 5, and Chorin comes in at 200 pounds, Smith 195, so they're about even in the weight.
And that was powerful. He stands that bar up with authority and really strong. Good speed there on the barbell.
Smith looks pretty comfortable still here in the round of 5 on the bench press. A little stall there just to wait and make sure he's okay. You don't want to wait too long, though, in the top. You don't want to stay in tension too long, but I think that was a good time. He'll jog down the floor, and again, Chase Smith with the lead as Chorin is still back on the bench press. So now we're starting to see a little gap develop here for Chase Smith. He got on that squat clean at 9:05, and here comes Chorin walking his way up. Patrick Filner taking a look. He knows exactly where he is, exactly what he's doing. So Chorin is about 13 seconds behind Chase Smith now here in this event in the round of 5. So about a 13-second gap. Pat Filner is now trying to chase down Alexandre Chorin.
And for him, it's time to hold on to that barbell. He took a look, eyeballed the scenes. He wanted to see where everybody was at, and then that's where he made the decision that it's time to hold on. Looked fresh, was able to hold on quickly, and now he's jogging back.
And I like the fact that he only paid attention to Chorin. You can worry about chasing down Smith once you get past Chorin. Smith, though, looks very, very good here on the bench press. No signs of slowing down, just went at his 4 reps.
He's able to keep that tension in his back when he's doing the bench press, and that's the thing. When you're breathing hard, that can be more difficult to do.
Chorin took his time on the bench. Also, Filner gets a couple of breaths. So Chorin's going to remain ahead of Filner by 2 reps, by 3 reps now. Oh, and he got stuck at the bottom, and Chase Smith just checks his judge, just cruising along here. He's going to have the barbell into the round of 3, so now things get very quick, and you hang on to the barbell. Filner waiting a little while here on the bench press as Chorin is going to maintain his lead over Filner as he walks down. Finishing out that bench, Filner is back up. But Chase Smith has expanded his lead to about 20 seconds over Chorin. He keeps putting space in between himself and second place. Filner will go unbroken. Right now, Craig Kenny, to tell you how good he is, they're about 1:41 off Craig Kenny's pace right now. A little bit faster, so that's how quickly Chase Smith is going. He is moving. Chase Smith's going to have a chance to, and a very good chance to knock off Craig Kenny and get 100 points after getting a 22nd in the triple threes. So about 1:41 ahead.
And that was a nice transition. He picked up that bar, trotted right to the bar, and got to work.
Only 9 total reps remaining for Chase Smith. And barring something that I don't see coming, he's going to have 100 points in the bank. Here is Patrick Bellman. Again, 14:42 is what Chase Smith is going after. And then Filner will have 3 reps remaining. Filner has passed Chorin. He's got a 2-rep lead as he rolls it forward. Here is Smith with 2 reps. I'll be very aware of where he is at.
Looking for a little help from the crowd.
He just passed the event record by Andre Ganin of 12:09 over in Europe, but he is comfortably ahead of the event lead in the East. So now he's got 3 reps remaining.
And weighing in at 195, this is a legit, true Linda for him.
And Filner, he got a 3rd earlier, can get 2nd and get 95 points. Here comes Smith, this final bench. So right now it is Smith, Filner, and Chorin. Now he'll jog down the lane, and Smith is going to have 100 points. Looks over, makes sure the rep is good. Hello, 100 points and first place in event number 2 in the East region for Chase Smith. And here comes Pat Filner. He slips, but he's okay over the bar. 95 points, second place overall.
Impressive for Filner, very impressive. He made a push. I don't know if he made the push a little too late, if he could have ever even caught Chase Smith, but Chase Smith really did a nice job. Even with early pressure, he did a great job of maintaining that pace and just stayed on it with the barbell.
Even though Alexandre Chorin lost the lean, he's going to be 3rd overall. He's got 90 points. He needed that after 27th earlier today in the triple threes. Lane number 8, Jean-Simon Wallemaire. He needed some points as well after a 26 in the triple three. He's still got that round of 3 remaining, but as long as he can get in 42 seconds, he can have a lot of points here. And he's got to get 14:42. That's lane number 4, Michael Palumba, a games vet a year ago. He finished 31st in the games, and he is going to be in. He's going to be 4th place overall.
And that's huge because he took a 31st on the first event today, so that will move him up the leaderboard.
Final rep here for Wallemaire. 5th overall as he makes sure the barbell's in play. And in lane number 5, we'll see Tim Paulson, a games vet.
He looks like he is struggling with those legs. That final run, that final hop over onto the mat, his legs are beat up. But remember what these athletes have been through today. Triple threes, all of that taxing on the legs.
And let's face it, Smith, Chorin, Palumba, Wallemaire, Paulson, they needed high finishes. Filner got a 3rd place earlier today in event 1. He was okay on points. Those other athletes, they needed strong finishes, and they all had top 5s unofficially, got ahead of Craig Kinney.
Well, remember, this heat is your best coming out of the open. So, yeah, for these guys, they knew that this was their chance, and they can't fall too far behind, especially on day 1. And they're making it happen here with Linda.
Well, Alex Vigneault, we've not even said his name in this event. Finished in the mid-20s earlier today in event number 1. He's not going to have a terrible finish here, but not nearly the rally that he needed that we've seen the other athletes have here.
I was hopeful for him. I haven't seen him here. I missed out on him last year. You know, I was anxious to see what he was going to do. And, you know, the competition every year, Jeff, gets stronger, gets tighter. And so it's great to see Alex Vigneault back there. Not the first day 1 or the start that I expected to see from him.
25th earlier today, only 37 points as he makes his way back down his lane. He's going to beat the cap of 17 minutes, but 16:13 in lane number 3. Jake Marconi takes a little spill, but he gets across onto the finish mat. 40 seconds remaining here. Vigneault is in. Boy, he got crushed, and everyone is in under the cap here in heat number 4. But Chase Smith, outstanding, and he had the right pace. He knew what he could do. Held onto the barbell, held off Pat Filner, held off Alexandre Chorin. And so, again, it's going to be Chase Smith, 22nd earlier today, but he rallies back and gets 100 points in the bank.
To wrap up your day with a 100-point event is awesome. He had early pressure from Chorin. They were going back and forth. It was kind of early in the round of 7s to be racing already, but Smith really kept his pace. He didn't let it didn't let it frazzle him. He stayed with his plan with the singles until he got to the rounds of 5s. Even when Filner started to step it up, he couldn't catch Smith's pace and appropriate pacing on that one.
Fun watching Smith hold off Chorin, and Bellman made a little push, and Filner sitting in really good shape. He got 2nd overall, so he had 95 points. He's got 185 points of a possible 200 in day 1. So Filner really sitting in good shape. But Chase Smith out of CrossFit Free is on the floor with Nick Zielinski.
Chase, you got quite the cheering section up there rooting you on. Yeah. It was quite the bro sesh out, the little bench press. How was it having bench press at the CrossFit Games Regionals?
Honestly, it was amazing. to be able to come back from an injury that was chest related and to do bench press, not only just complete the event but win it, it feels amazing.
A lot of near misses for you the last couple of years, some disappointments. So what does this do for your morale, a win like this? What does that do for you, boosting your confidence going into the weekend?
It helps. Honestly, it helps. But again, it's just one event. You know, I'm taking it one event at a time, and this is just going to help me reach my goal.
What is that goal?
Top 5.
All right, Chase, with congratulations, man. Good luck the rest of the weekend.
Chase Smith is your event winner today. It was really fun to watch him, and Patrick Filner just steady. Gets another 95 points here, Tony.
And he showed us on the barbell with deadlifts, bench, and the squat clean of how to pace it out, how to know his body, know the movements of where he needs to push in an event with so many reps. He raced it at the end. He was aware the entire time through of where his competitors were. He pushed appropriately, and he's down with Nick.
Patrick Filner, first place, event 1, second place, event 2. How would you classify your Friday?
That's how you want to start a competition, a regional competition. Take some of the pressure off for the later days if you can. And it just, confidence and momentum goes a long way. It helps you sleep a little easier at night, maybe get a few extra hours of easy sleep and feel better tomorrow. So that's obviously how you want to do it. Like, that's what we train for, is to have good execution on game day. So I'm happy with that. It doesn't get much better than that, and that's what I'm looking to continue to do for the rest of the weekend.
With Matt Frazier leaving the region, you've obviously taken the title as favorite. How do you wear that title?
I think you try to be a good competitor, not just on the floor, but around behind the scenes too. I mean, I now this year, I'm more of a veteran competitor, and I think some of the newer guys will watch you and look to see how they should behave and hold themselves and carry themselves when it comes to being a competitor and a high-level athlete. So I think it's important to be a good role model, try to talk to all the people, and I mean, you got to walk the walk when you're on the floor. So that obviously comes first and foremost, but it's about how you hold yourself around when you walk around with the community and with the other athletes.
Well, Patrick Filner, quite a performance here on Friday. Go get some rest. We'll see you tomorrow.
Will do. Thank you very much. See you tomorrow.
Thanks a lot. So Pat Filner, a third and a second, and may now have the overall lead. For that official information, you need to go to games.crossfit.com and check the leaderboard. The men are finished for day 1.